Well, part of my experience, as you probably know, but the others don't, is I've done a lot of work in commercials and have done some branding work. So the idea of archetypes is, paramount in terms of branding and brands themselves falling under certain archetypes. And we'll look at that in a little bit. So, I think it's something that songwriters subconsciously probably do on some level, the good ones, that they're operating in a certain archetype, silo, if you want to call it that. But once you really become intentional with it and you really start to look at, from a sync perspective, how the shows are marketed and how, trailers work and all of that, then if you can align your writing with their storytelling, and archetypes are all about the different types of characters in stories, then you have a much better chance. It takes the one thing that I don't do, and the whole idea of like, hey, let's get together and write. Okay, well, what do you want to write? Oh, I don't know. Let's have a game plan. And for sync, we can be very intentional. So, it even extrapolates out into certain artists, their artistic, presence and their sound and who they are is and they're even an archetype. The good ones. If they were to think of like, what's their personality driving their artistic vision, and their songs are in line with that. So then it becomes about, okay, well, I'm going to write with artist X tomorrow, and I know that their voice sounds like this and their messaging is typically like this. This person fits over here, so, and I'll show you, but like this artist is very much has a really warm and a warm tone to her voice, so she could fall under the caregiver archetype. So let's do something along those lines. So
what's interesting here, Kurt, is like this is you're taking like a filmmaker's approach to music, like archetypes. Like when you think about archetypes, you think about Star Wars, you think about The Godfather, you think about these iconic characters that are very universal, like they're kind of undeniable. Like everybody attaches to Luke Skywalker or Rocky or Don whoever, So that's, it's kind of like you're using something that is a little bit impervious to trends, impervious to subjective, do I like it or not? It's like when you're talking about, I'm looking at some of your slides that we'll get into in a minute. When you're talking about the lover or the hero, you're kind of creating something, I don't want to say timeless, but your odds are better.
Right.
Because you're creating something that is attached to something that doesn't change. Is that fair to say?
Well, it is, because, 200 years from now, if you tell somebody, oh, well, that character is the hero in the movie, they're going to know, well, I know what a hero is. It doesn't matter how it's dressed up, right?
Right.
So, Thor is a hero and he's got his cape and his hammer, but in 50 years, the next hero is going to be in a different outfit and it'll be dressed up differently, but we'll still know he's the hero. So we can dress up the hero in different production, and this year it might be strings, and next year it might be synths, and the next year it might be guitars, but the messaging, the DNA of the song is a hero, and everyone knows what a hero is.
Right. Or a caregiver or a ruler or I'm looking at some of the other things that we'll talk about. That's interesting.
So you're kind of, it is impervious to, everyone's going to always know what that is. The styles will change, the trends will change.
That's interesting.